What is up here, YouTube? Jigsaw0097 here today, bringing you a video game review. I said I would make it, guys, and it's finally time because I've played through the entire game. I've beaten the single player, and I have played through a vast majority of the arcade mode as well, which is an addition to this game. So the game I'm referring to, obviously, if you saw my unboxing earlier, is Far Cry 5. And yeah, finished everything in the game. Just kind of want to give my review on it. So as you guys may or may not know, I'm actually a massive Far Cry fan. I've been a Far Cry fan since the second one came out. That was actually my introduction to the series 10 years ago, back in 2008. I was working at GameStop at the time, and I remember they used to let you loan out games at GameStop. Anyone that's worked at GameStop knows how this works. You can basically take a game for up to 3 to 4 days. I don't know, some GameStops it might be like a week, but basically you get free rentals as a GameStop employee. And so I saw Far Cry 2 on the shelf, had never played a Far Cry game, and one of my buddies was like, dude, you like Skyrim wasn't even out then, it was Oblivion. He's like, you like Oblivion, so you probably would like this. And so I took it home and played it, and absolutely loved it. Far Cry 2, in my opinion, is still one of the most immersive games of the last decade, because unlike the new games, Far Cry 2 kind of was more of a simulation than a game. But anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about Far Cry 5. So yeah, just wanted to give you my introduction on that. And then obviously I played Far Cry 3. Far Cry 3 is an amazing game. Played Blood Dragon, Far Cry 4, what's the Primal? I actually just started playing Primal. I'd never got around to that one. That's what I'm playing now. So yeah, needless to say, big Far Cry fan. So when Far Cry 5 was announced, I was extremely excited. I don't buy a whole lot of games on day one anymore, just because I don't really like the way that the industry is right now, where you have to buy a game and then get the season pass, give out microtransactions. You know, that's kind of why I don't. But Far Cry is one of those franchises I was like, you know what, to hell with it, I'm getting it. And I'm glad I did, guys, because this game is amazing. If you've played Far Cry before, this is basically what you've been asking for with all the games, good and bad. We'll just kind of start with the gameplay. The gameplay is largely unchanged. It's pretty much the same game that we've had since 3. Far Cry 3 was when they kind of moved away from the simulation, survival aspects, more towards the gaming aspects. Like, there's still crafting and stuff like that in Far Cry 3 and 4, but they're a lot more, I'm trying to think, gamer friendly, you know, they're not as clunky. There's fast travel, there's convenience things. That's kind of what I'm getting at. And so this is more of the same. This is basically just Far Cry 3 and 4 combined, with the addition of fishing and a couple of other activities. And the gameplay is really tight this time around, guys. That's one of the best things about it. Keep in mind, I have an Xbox One X, so that's what I've been playing it on. I know that if you get it for the regular Xbox One, it's probably not going to look as good, but the game looked absolutely fantastic. Ran 60 frames per second, native 4K the whole time I was playing it. It was a gorgeous game, probably some of the best graphics I've ever seen in a game, honestly. At least for an open world game like that. Assassin's Creed Origins, pretty close as well, but this game just looked phenomenal. So from a gameplay standpoint, it's more of what you'd expect. You know, it's Far Cry. If you like taking over outposts, if you like skinning animals. Like I said, they added fishing this time, which is a great addition. The fishing is actually done really well to the point where it's a nice little distraction, but it doesn't overstay its welcome. And then, yeah, you know, the vehicles, they added planes in this one, so in addition to helicopters, you can fly planes around. And so, yeah, gameplay-wise, if you're a shooter fan, if you're a Far Cry fan, this game's got you. And then graphics, I already covered those. Amazing graphics. And now we'll get onto the story. This is where the spoilers are at, guys. So if you haven't played the game and you don't want to be spoiled, please click off the video right now. Come back when you're ready. Okay, here we go. So basically the story is Joseph Seed has taken over a fictional town in Montana. It's more of like an area, kind of like a valley, like it's a bowl, you know, mountains all around. Kind of like where I live, actually. I live in Utah Valley, and it's kind of how it is here too. Yeah, so you go there to arrest Joseph Seed. That's how the game starts, because he has started a doomsday cult. And you go there to arrest him, and in typical Far Cry fashion, it goes horribly wrong, and they end up shooting your helicopter down, and you crash into the wilderness of Hope County, Montana, which is conveniently isolated from the rest of the country. Like I said, there's like no, if you look at the map, there's like no roads in or out. It's almost like Nome, Alaska, you know? You have to fly in. And so that's kind of the setup. And then basically the game is similar to, if you've played Ghost Recon Wildlands, the way it's set up, there's 3 lieutenants, and you have to go take them out. But this is where it gets different from other Far Cry games, is because in the other Far Cry games you kind of had to do the zones in a certain order to unlock the other zones. This game, there's 3 zones with 3 lieutenants, and you can basically start tackling the game any way you see fit. Similar to how Ghost Recon's Wildlands was. You just have this huge map, just go at it. And so that's actually a very welcome change, because I didn't like how in Far Cry 3 and 4 that you had to, and even in Far Cry 2, you had to like clear the first section of the map before you could unlock the next section of the map. Because usually in those games, by the time you got to the second section, the game was starting to get a little more dull, and it wasn't as exciting. But in this game, you know, you get to choose who you want to tackle first, and so it keeps the excitement factor up on that end. And so yeah, the lieutenants are Joseph Seed's family, which is John Seed, Jacob Seed, and then Faith Seed. And that's really all I need to go into there. Because, I mean, I guess I'm not really going to go that much into spoilers, because I don't really feel like I need to talk about the story. If you guys are going to play it, you already know. So yeah, that's kind of the setup, guys. And I thought the story was done really well without giving away too much. The villain is not as good as the last 2 games' villains. If I had to place him somewhere, I would place him like right before. I'd place him, he's better than Far Cry 2's villain, but he's not as good as Voss from Far Cry 3, so he's like the second worst villain, I guess. But that's not to say he's bad. He's still a pretty good villain. It's just he wasn't very convincing to me, and he didn't feel threatening. Like, Far Cry villains have always kind of felt threatening to the point where you actually like either want to kill them, or you kind of like empathize with them, because they're ruthless, but they're human, you know. Voss was like crazy, but you kind of felt bad for him. And then Pagan Min, actually, I completely saw his side by the end of that game, Far Cry 4. So in this game, I just wanted to kill the guy, to be honest. Like, so that was different. He was just kind of a fanatic cult leader. And he was murdering people, so I was like, they give you the options in typical Far Cry fashion, you know, like choose to let him live or kill him, but it's like, I was like, I'm just gonna kill him. So anyway, that's kind of where I rank it. The story is fine, but it's nothing to write home about. It's really the gameplay here, guys, and the graphics, and it's more Far Cry. So if you like that kind of thing, you'll be right at home. But anyway, that's gonna kind of be the video. I'm gonna give it a final review score of 9 out of 10. I think this is a must-play game this year. One of the best open-world games that we've had this year. We also had Kingdom Come Deliverance, which I'm going to probably make a video review on that as well. And that was a phenomenal game. But I think Far Cry 5, you know, it's not a yearly franchise either, which is nice. So it comes out every 2 or 3 years, and we can get our fix with it, and then we can wait for the next one. It's not like Assassin's Creed, you know, where you gotta look out for one of those every year, and it gets really annoying. So overall, guys, 9 out of 10. I would recommend buying it, playing it. If you guys have played it, comment down below. If you like the video, also consider giving this a thumbs up, and I'll probably be doing some more video reviews in the future as far as the Eagles content goes as well. Like I said, I don't really do much in the off season, just kind of take a break from that. But the draft is coming up very soon, and I will cover that. So anyway, guys, that's the video review. And as always, this has been Jigsaw0097 here. Thank you so much for watching this video. Talk to you all later.